I'm Kevin Haygood, Los Cristianos Motorcycle Ministry, East Texas, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Kevin Haygood.
You know, see his person there. He said, "Well, I'm a real pastor," and because he looks at me, you know, in my rags, and and long. I had a long beard back then. I'm a real pastor. It's kind of funny now, but she's like, "Excuse me, well." Yeah, he's a real pastor too. So she got the authorization. I went up and she sent him packing.
Wow. So it just goes to show you that it doesn't matter what you look like.
No.
Right? Wow, that's crazy. And the judgment on people, right?
Yes, sir.
That's a major reason why I do this show, is because the media tries to portray bikers as criminals.
Me and a brother out of Terrell rode to Odessa, Texas for a funeral, which is a pretty good little ride from our house, about 7 hours or so, you know. So we rode over, made a funeral. We're coming back. We hit Mineral Wells coming home, and then we were exceeding the speed limit, no doubt. You know, I mean, we were riding hard, and we saw the Texas State Patrol make a U-turn, come around and get behind us, and we pull over. Man, he kept us on the side of the road for about 35 minutes. First thing out of his mouth was, "What gang are you in?" Right? Which pretty much set the tone. And I'm like, "Dude, we're coming from a funeral. We're motorcycle ministers. We just came from a funeral." He said, "Well, you're wearing red and gold." I said, "No, I'm wearing gold and red. There's a difference." And he's like, "Well, you mean to tell me that you preach to a bunch of criminals?" I mean, that just set the tone for the whole deal, right?
Man.
So it literally on the side of the road for about 30 minutes. I got a copy of the video. I requested it and requested an apology. I ended up getting a written apology that he had profiled us. And I gave it like I got it for about 30 minutes on the side of the road. And I'm finally like, "Dude, you know, either write us a ticket, let us roll, you know, enough is enough." I said, "Sounds to me like you're the one that needs Jesus," right? I mean, that was right when that George Floyd deal was going on. So I know they were a little on edge anyway. And I think there were some riots going on in Dallas at the time. So everybody was on high alert. But golly, shortly thereafter, I got let go from a job. And man, every time I'd go for a job interview, I would get as far as the background check, and that was as far as I could get. And somebody said, "Well, you know, Texas has got a gang database. You may want to check and see if you're in it." And I went to my local police department there in the little town I live in, went in and introduced myself to the police chief, super nice guy, told him who I was, what I wanted. I said, "Man, is there any way you can check and tell me if I'm in this database?" He said, "Sure." He pulled me up on the computer. He said, "Yeah, you're in there." He said, "But yours has got I don't remember what he called it, but they have to resubmit it every 12 months. And mine did not have that. Mine was set indefinite, right?" And I was like, "Golly." He said, "Yeah, you probated for the Outlaws back here in the 2000s. You rode with this club. You did this, you did that. And you're now here." And I'm like, "Golly, dude, what do I need to get out of this?" I said, "Dude, I'm their pastor. You know, I've been a heathen my whole life, but I'm not that guy today, right?"
Yeah.
And he gave me a detective's number out in Midland and told me to call him, that this guy out in West Texas handles the gang database. And I called him, and it was super nice guy. He said, "Give me a couple of days, call me back." He said, "I'll see what I can do to take care of it." About 2 days later, he called me. He said, "You're out of there, man. I took care of it for you. I understand your circumstances, and I appreciate you giving me a call." But what's crazy is they don't tell you, right? I mean, if you don't ask, you don't know. They could put you in this database, and you don't even know you're in there unless you ask if you're in there.
Wow, and it shows you that they think that all people that are involved with clubs are criminals.
So I'm automatically gang related, right? It's
You're a
crazy.
pastor. You're doing great things. You're trying to help
Right.
people, and you're trying to find a job, and they cut you down, and you didn't know why at first, right?
I had no idea. My wife and I are going like, golly, what's going on here? You know, I never make it past the background check. I've got a pretty decent looking resume. You know, I'm a professional guy. I just look like this, right?
Yeah, but you don't look like a criminal.
I don't think I do. It don't wash off. I look like what I look like, right? I mean, it is what it is, right?
Have you been to prison in the past?
No, I have not. In fact, I'll just throw this on out there, man. I worked for the Georgia Department of Juvenile Justice as a juvenile correctional officer back in the late 90s. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I could not be a Bandido when I moved to Texas, right? So,
Oh, they don't accept
what?
ex
Yeah.
officers.
Regardless that I did not have arrest powers or anything, it's just in their bylaws. So I was not allowed to be a bandit. In fact, I don't know if this is the appropriate time or place, but I'll throw it out there. After 20 years supporting these guys, that was the reason that I was given that they abolished my ministry in 6 states. It was because I was a correctional officer 25 years ago.
And does that make you feel like this isn't brotherhood?
Oh, it made me feel a whole lot of feelings. Today, I'm good today, but 3 years ago when it happened, bitter, angry. I don't know how to describe it, right? I'm like, golly, dude. I had benefits for some of these guys, hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally, over the years that I've handed these guys duffel bags full of cash. And to see them on the street, and since I no longer wear their colors, they don't even acknowledge me. It's kind of sickening, isn't it?
That's pretty wild. And you dedicate your whole life to it.
There were times I told you that I set the example for these guys, right? I led by example. I didn't ask them to do anything that I hadn't done or wasn't willing to do. And I truly not only love this lifestyle, but I live this lifestyle, right? I don't wear a 1% patch, but I can assure you I'm a 1%er at heart, right? And I love those guys. I love those guys. I spent more time with them than I did with my family. I neglected my wife, my children, my job to spend time with these guys, minister to these guys, pour into their families, pour into their wives, their children. My wife would minister to their wives. I mean, this was a joint deal, right? We're partners in this, and then just literally just turn their back. They don't even know us anymore. That's
So
crazy, isn't it?
can you walk me through the day that all this transpired?
Turkey Run 3 years ago. They have an annual the Thanksgiving. They call it the Turkey Run. I was called and told me to meet one of the local nationals. Meet up with him. I met him. He said they've decided that we're going to abolish your ministry. I said, and without getting into the who's and I'm not going to call names and do all of that, but man, I took my rags off and handed them to him. Well, here you go. He said, well, cut your patches off, keep that custom vest of yours, and we'll go from there. I'm like, no, dude. I mean, if you want it, here it is, right? It broke my heart, literally. I said, but golly, guys, if I'm the problem, the fact that y'all knew I was a correctional officer 25 years ago, it's never changed. It's never been a secret. If that's the problem, then leave my guys alone. I'll step out, right? I'll do something different. But I literally, dude, I had guys in 6 states and 4 different chapters in Texas, right? So,
So it
10
was
guys.
it was a lot of people.
It was a big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a big deal. And those guys were doing the same thing I'm doing, right? I mean, they're going everywhere their chapter's going. They're doing their weddings. They're doing their funerals. They're doing the hospital visits. They're doing fundraisers for these guys, right? And it's like, no, dude, they said abolish the whole thing. So we did.
Just because you were a correction
Because
officer a
that
long
was
time ago.
25 years ago. Yeah, in late 90s, early 2000. And hey, it is what it is, you know.
Is there nobody in their club that's an ex police officer or correction officer?
Man, I don't know. I'm sure they probably got current police officers in there, you know.
I mean,
That is
I'm
what it
sure.
is too,
I'm
you know.
sure they do. I'm sure they do. There's a
You know
lot
they
of
do.
clubs that accept ex law enforcement. I mean, clubs were built on people coming back from the war and people that were doing service for the country. Like, so I mean, I
Well,
don't understand
I
why they would do that.
politics. I'm you know, I don't know the club politics. I'll stay out of all of that. I can say when I probated for the Outlaws in Atlanta, Georgia, it was no secret that I had just took my retirement from the Georgia Department of Juvenile Justice, right? I mean, I worked at a juvenile detention center as a drill instructor for young offenders, right?
Yeah.
Up to 19 years old. I mean, but
What
anyway.
was that job like?
Oh, it was wild, dude. It was my youngest convict was 9 years old. They sent him to prison for kicking his teacher in the ass. You know, I mean, it was a
What?
90-day boot camp facility.
Oh, so these kids went through this grueling.
Like a scared straight kind of deal. I mean, we went to they sent all of us to Fort McClellan, Alabama, to drill instructor school, and we became certified drill instructors, and it was a sure enough intense boot camp program for juvenile offenders. It was a
Yeah, a
cool
lot of
job.
yelling.
I
A lot of
enjoyed it.
yelling.
Oh, dude, I lived it. I loved it. Yes, sir.
You scare them kids, right? You try
Yeah,
to
that's
scare
right.
them.
Oh, yeah, I loved it.
Most of them break, right?
No, we had learned that it became in Georgia. It became a deal to where it was part of a gang initiation. You know that it was part of their prerequisite in their initiation that they had to go through the boot camp program to get in the gang.